Welcome to the Moot Court Case Packet for Estate of Elias Thorne versus the Kickapoo Tribal Gaming Commission, presented by the World Affairs Council of Austin. The Kickapoo Traditional Tribe of Texas exercises judicial authority through its tribal court and appellate court. This case serves as valuable training for students on tribal constitutional rights and sovereign immunity analysis. The estate of Elias Thorne challenges the revocation of a gaming vendor license. The central issue involves due process concerns, as the license was revoked after an internal audit without allowing the confrontation of witnesses. The case parties are the appellant, the estate of Elias Thorne, and the appellee, the Kickapoo Tribal Gaming Commission. The appellant raises 2 points of error: a due process violation due to denied confrontation rights, and a challenge to the district court's use of an arbitrary and capricious standard of review instead of de novo for statutory interpretation. Article 2 of the Tribal Constitution guarantees fair procedures, including the right to confront adverse evidence when property or licensing rights are at stake. This ensures sovereign authority is exercised with fairness and impartiality. The key administrative law issue is whether the Gaming Commission exceeded its authority by revoking the license solely based on internal reports. The revocation occurred without a formal hearing or the opportunity to challenge adverse evidence. The Kickapoo Gaming Regulatory Code mandates notice, an opportunity to respond, and fair hearing procedures for vendor licenses. These are the regulatory requirements under dispute. The Commission relied on anonymous employee statements, internal audit summaries, and unsworn reports. The core legal question is whether due process requires live testimony or cross-examinable evidence. The appellant argues that the vendor license is a protected property interest, and revocation without confrontation violates due process. They also claim the district court erred by using the wrong standard of review. The appellee argues the license is a conditional privilege, not a vested right, and the Commission is mandated to prioritize public interest protection. They assert that confrontation rights do not apply to safety-based administrative actions, justifying administrative deference. Appellant's position demands de novo review for statutory interpretation, requiring independent court decision-making. Appellee's position asserts that agency decisions should be upheld unless arbitrary or capricious, favoring deference to agency expertise. The contested evidence includes Audit Report 14B, employee statements, a financial discrepancy memo, and the final revocation notice. These documents are the focus of the due process challenge. The procedural history culminates in the present challenge: the estate's appeal to the Kickapoo Tribal Appellate Court following the Commission's license revocation and the District Court's affirmation. The learning objectives for this case include writing appellate briefs, analyzing constitutional due process, determining the correct standard of review, and arguing before a 3-judge appellate panel. The core educational targets are to strengthen the understanding of tribal administrative law, teach appellate reasoning, explore confrontation rights in tribal contexts, and build oral advocacy skills. Students will compare tribal due process with federal administrative confrontation rights, state licensing procedures, and how sovereignty shapes procedural protections across these systems. The oral argument structure involves 15 minutes for the appellant, including a 3-minute rebuttal reservation, and 15 continuous minutes for the appellee. Judicial interjection in the form of questions should be expected throughout. Possible outcomes include the license being reinstated, the revocation being upheld, a remand for procedural correction, or a clarification of rights that sets precedent for tribal administrative law. This case teaches about sovereign regulatory authority, fairness in tribal licensing, limits of agency discretion, and the importance of procedural safeguards in tribal governance. This moot court program prepares students for leadership in tribal jurisdictions, federal systems, and global legal leadership, emphasizing the complexities of the Kickapoo Tribal Appellate Court.